guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Married at First Sight Season 17, Episode 2 called Rocky Mountain Romance. So we pick up where we left off last week with Emily and Brennan walking down the aisle. They just got married and they go have a one-on-one talk in the cold. You know, even though it's freezing, they said, we're just going to put a freaking fur coat on you and you're going to be okay. Even though I'm sure they're still freezing, you know, you couldn't find nowhere inside for them to sit down and talk and have a one-on-one? No. Okay. So anyway, they have a little conversation. It seems to go well. I didn't write down what they said necessarily. But, you know, as long as everything's going well, easy breezy, lemon squeezy, it is what it is. So then we move on to Becca. She goes dress shopping. And the dress she chooses is, you know, not necessarily my cup of tea. But, you know, to each their own. I understand the reasonings of why she got it because of her surgery she recently had. So she don't want nothing too pressing on her stomach. I get that. But I do think, I will say, when she was trying on the dress and she said, okay, like, this is the dress. I'm saying yes to the dress, whatever. I was just like, I mean, if you like it, I love it. But, you know, for me, it's just like, I don't see it yet. But at the wedding later on in the episode, when she put on the dress with the makeup, the hair, the jewelry and stuff, I'm like, okay, now I can see it. You look good, girl. All right, you do your thing. But anyway, that was it for her. And then Austin, he goes tux shopping, of course. And the suit tux, whatever that he chooses, is very nice, black and sleek. And, you know, he's very goofy, but kind of awkward at the same time and like quirky. So when I was watching him trying on tuxes and stuff, even though I think he only tried on 2, you know, and the way he talked and everything and his demeanor and mannerisms and body language, I was like, he reminds me of Henry from season 11. And then I had a little moment to myself of crying, even though I didn't really, you know, cry. But, you know, I was just like somber because I'm like, yo, season 11 really was like the last best season of Married at First Sight. After season 11, it just went downhill from there because season 12 came with a lot of BS. So it's just like, yo, you bring me back. So it's like, you remind me of Henry, but someone with more confidence. Because Henry, he didn't really show that confidence that I feel like Austin does. You could tell he's still awkward and quirky and whatnot, but I feel like he exudes a little bit more a lot of bit more confidence than Henry did. So I'm like, okay, I can see the resemblance there in regards to that aspect, but okay, cool, whatever. We then move on to Claire. She goes dress shopping, and I think she only tries on one dress, but the dress that she tried on and she chose is absolutely gorgeous. I said out of all the girls, her dress is the best dress, me personally, that I feel. And then I would go, actually, let me go down the list, you know, since there was not much going on this episode once again, so I could, you know, take a little time to express my feelings in regards to little things that really don't matter. So from best to worst, not necessarily worst, but the best to the least best, out of the 4 women, because homegirl, we don't even know who Michael's wife is or potential wife is, I would say is Claire, then Lauren, then what's her name? Emily, and then what is this girl name? What's the last one? Becca. There we go. As far as the men, I can't even think. I would have to think about that long and hard and come back to you maybe next week to tell you who from the best to the least best. Anyway, so best dress thus far, Claire. Cameron, he goes tux shopping. The tux he chooses is nice. I think it fits him well. I feel like for Cameron, it's like I'm still trying to get to know his personality. I feel like with everybody else, I kind of get a gist of what they're about. But with Cameron, he just seems very fidgety and nervous, and like he's doing this not because he wants to, but because he has to or something in regards to that aspect. So it's just like I'm just still trying to figure him out. So it's like I feel like with Cameron, I can't really say much, but I'm trying. So then we get to Lauren and Orion's wedding. Their wedding is next. And, you know, we go through the whole spiel of them talking, what they think or what they're expecting or hoping or what they're not hoping or whatever. You know, it's the same thing, different season, different episode, different people, whatever. So, you know, when we get to the gifts part, Lauren gets Orion a fancy flask and a letter, okay. Then Orion gets Lauren a turquoise necklace in representation of his culture and his ancestors. So I thought that was cute. She liked it. He liked his gifts. So, okay, cool. We get to the ceremony. And when she comes down the aisle, she seems happy to see him. He seems happy to see her. Of course, he says she's beautiful. And she don't really necessarily say he's beautiful back or handsome or good looking. She says she likes his earrings. So I don't know if that was a deflection of saying, okay, You may not be my cup of tea look wise, but I like your earrings though. She don't say it like that, but I'm just like, do you not find him attractive? Because I don't think he's ugly. He's cute, maybe, but just not her cup of tea. I mean, I would listen. We already discussed this last week, guys. Okay, we discussed this already last week. If I don't find you attractive, I'm not gonna flat out say you ugly or nothing. I'm just gonna say thank you. You look good too. But if you find, I'm like, yeah, you look good. You're handsome. You're gorgeous. Whatever. This. It's not about what you say. It's about how you say. We already talked about this last week. We're moving forward with this. The ceremony goes well. She seemed like she was a little shy, not necessarily like nervous, but kind of just like, taking the compliments well. Like he was looking at her, smiling at her, white, bright and all that stuff. And, she was doing the same thing. And I felt like it was cute. And we get through the ceremony, we get to the end. He asks, do you want to kiss? So she says yes. And they kiss. It was a nice, cute little sensual kiss. And I'm like, okay, I can dig it. I can see them being together. I mean, I feel like it's only going to work out if they make it work. Because I didn't necessarily feel any initial chemistry, so to speak. But I feel like they're both kind of more easygoing in the fact that, okay, if we do this, if we actually try this, put our work into it, put our all into it, we're going to make this work. But not necessarily like, oh, this would have happened if we wasn't paired together type of thing. So we'll see how it works. But for the most part, I'm liking them together. But that's usually how it is in the beginning. And then all the effery comes later on after the honeymoon or whatnot. So we get to Michael's wedding. He's getting ready for the ceremony, okay? And, he gets the gift from homegirl. She got him a crown, some slippers, and a sword. So he's digging it. His friends digging it. You know how they all, for the most part, they'll be like, oh, they know me so well. Yeah. Because they got you the perfect gift. Honestly, I feel like with a lot of people, any gift they get, they're going to be like, oh, I like this. Like, let's say, I don't know what to choose. What do I got around here? Okay, I got this lotion from Bath and Body Works, okay? Let's say homeboy or whatever got me a lotion from Bath and Body Works. Okay, very generic. A lot of people like Bath and Body Works, okay, whatever. So I could be like, oh my gosh, I love Bath and Body Works. He got me like a whole little lotion set or perfume body spray set from Bath and Body Works. And that's the only place I go to get my lotion and perfumes and stuff. He must know me so well. Like, how do he know me? Like, where did he come from? That's exactly how these people are. Granted, with the exception of Claire, we'll get to her later on. But for the most part, I'm like, y'all just do the most. I know this is, I get it, it's TV. I understand. But at the same time, I'm just like, if they got you any type of gift, you're going to find any way to resonate that with, okay, because I like this color, that's why. A freaking mouse, okay? Granted, my favorite color is purple, but let's say my favorite color is red, okay? He got me this. Wow, I needed a new mouse. My old mouse was like, this mouse was like on its way out. So like I needed a new mouse anyway. So, and it's red and red is my favorite color. Wow, he must know me already. This is gonna work. No, that don't mean it's sugar honey iced tea because he got you something in your favorite color or it happens to coincidentally, quote unquote, because sometimes I just be feeling like somebody be putting something in somebody's ear and that's why they be getting a gift that kind of coincides with the person. Look at Paige from season 12 because he got her a necklace of the infinity sign and she got a tattoo saying the infinity sign. Has a tattoo somewhere on her body with the infinity sign. So it was meant to be. And look how that turned out, Paige. Look how that turned out. You want to say, oh, that's the guy put it. Really? You sure? Or is it just people who just want to create drama that's putting people together knowing it's going to create a mess? Anyway, so yeah, he's excited about his little gifts, whatever. You can be excited, bro, but you ain't gonna be excited too much longer. We'll get to that part. We didn't get to. Oh no, we're still on him. Okay. We get to the altar. The ceremony. He walks down the altar with his little groomsmen and whatnot, and we don't even see. This is how I'm so confused. Okay, we don't see the girl at all. We don't see her journey. Nothing. And even when he's at the altar saying hi to the family, we don't even see his homegirl's family. I'm like, so her family can't be seen either? Are we going to get any explanation to why that is at any point in this show from the beginning? Well, we're at the beginning, but like during the season, at the end or whatever. I be trying to watch the after party. It'd really be background noise, So I don't know if they mentioned it last week's after party. I'll watch the after party from this week, sometime this week. We're already on Thursday, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I don't know when that's going to happen or come about, but we'll get there. And then, he asked them, do they feel panicked now that they see him and whatnot? For the most part, I guess they said, no, we don't know because we can't see them. But I guess one person may have done a face or said yes or whatever. So he's like, oh, snap. So I'm just like, oh, and they mentioned, oh, she probably gonna be texting homegirl like, oh no, this is not the one. So that's probably exactly what she done did. And we then see the girl come down the aisle. We don't see her face, but we see the back of her head. And she comes down the aisle. I'm being so dramatic. She comes down the aisle to greet him and whatnot. And he says she's beautiful. And she's like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't marry a stranger. So he's just like, he just takes that slap or punch to the face. And he's just like, and then he tries to say some nice words to convince her. She says he's very sweet. He's a great guy. And, thank you for understanding or whatever she said. And then she walked down the aisle and left. And everybody's looking kind of confused, but, obviously there's not going to be a wedding, so people get up and leave. And then his groomers come to console him and hug him and whatnot. And, at the end of the day, Michael said he respects it. And, he's just looking kind of sad. And I'm just like, this whole scene is very awkward. For me, I'm like, if you knew you was going to get married, I guess she wanted to come to see him face to face to let him know to his face that, listen, I can't marry you today. But I don't understand why they couldn't just call, like, wherever she was at. They couldn't say, okay, Michael, we need you to come out here real quick and talk to her one-on-one without, even though it's on national TV, it was going to be on national TV, it's going to be equally embarrassing. But I feel like out of more so respect, because like you're in front of everybody, not only on TV, but like all your friends and family, for her to tell you like she ain't trying to marry you, bro. Like I really feel like if they would have said, okay, Michael, we need you to step out here real quick, so then they could like have a one-on-one talk, or even to make it even better, show her and him walk into a room, okay? Maybe if their mics is on, maybe cool, but even if their mic is off, like we see them go into the room, have that one-on-one discussion where she's telling him, listen, I don't want to be married to you. And then we, later on, we see them come out, and then she goes her way, he goes his way, and he lets us know what done happened. She don't want to marry him. And I felt like that would have been way better than the way they did it like this. But of course, this is reality TV, okay? They ain't trying to do that stuff, they ain't trying to have you, go behind the scenes to have a one-on-one conversation and stuff like that. If they could, they would have you mic'd up 24/7. But they can't do that. I don't think that's in the contract. And even if it was, I think there's some legalities to it that they can't do that. I don't know. I'm not in that realm of business or nothing, so who knows? But, they ain't trying to do all that. Okay, they want everything out in the open. They want all this drama out in the open, and they effed over Mike. Long story short, even though it's already a long story, they effed over Mike, and now he's heartbroken and looking like a fool. But we were still rooting for you, Mike. I don't know homegirl, so I can't comment on her or whatever, what she got going on, whatnot. I just felt like it could have been handled way better than how it was handled. Okay, so we move on. We're going to get back to him later, he'll be all right. We get to Becca and Austin's wedding day. They go through the whole formalities. This ain't nothing new. This is season 17. Come on, let's go. So we get to the gift part. So Becca gets Austin a phone camera. That's what he said. It just looked like a regular like Kodak camera you used to get at Walgreens. And, okay. So good luck with that. Congratulations. Austin gets Becca her favorite perfume. Well, he gets her an array of like different like mini scents of different things. And I guess one of them was her favorite perfume. So that's exactly what I was like, oh my gosh. Like he got me this. And it's like my favorite perfume. I wear this like every day. Man, that's like one scent thing out of like 5 different ones he has in the thing. So because one of them is your favorite scent, like, oh my gosh, like he must know you already, right? Okay, all right. Or whatever you say, Becca, I just think it's a load of bull. But yes, they know you so well. They didn't get no inclinations from nobody of what type of gifts to get you. I mean, well, clearly Cameron didn't, he didn't get no inclination of what his bride to be likes. But I feel like somewhere along the line some people be getting inclinations like, oh, this person likes this, let me get them this, right? Okay, no, Yes, I don't know. So anyway, we get to the wedding ceremony, and Austin has a talk with his mom before he walks down the aisle. And she's the mom that wasn't cool with any of this, and let it be known she wasn't cool with any of this. So she says even though she don't really agree with this dang thing, she supports him. She knows he's an adult, so he gonna do what he do, and she gonna be there. So okay, cool, whatever. We then get to Becca. Now, I did not think it was going to be this chipper, but she comes down, skipping down the aisle, and like just seems so full of life, so social. And I actually love that. I really did. I'm like, that's how you come here with positive vibes, great energy. Let's do this type of thing. So I guess that kind of took Austin off guard, but in a good way. So he ends up tearing up. She gets him a handkerchief or whatever. And, the ceremony goes by great. And when the officiant is reading what Becca's family and friends have to say about her, they did mention that what they say? They something about her being a sex vixen. So everybody's just like, oh, snap. And, the mom just looks so uncomfortable and just so upset. And I'm just like, Mama, calm down. Okay, listen, you ain't you're not innocent either, okay? If you want to be 100% real and transparent, Mom, you had sex multiple times because you have 2 kids. And I know you didn't have sex only 2 times, Mom. Okay. You had sex multiple times. Okay. I know your husband be knocking them boots. Okay, ma'am. So listen, you may think maybe it's inappropriate, but welcome to 2023. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of people be on these streets just being vulgar. You know what I'm saying? Go to Las Vegas, you get prostitutes handing you their business cards. I don't know what to tell you. So, ma'am, it's going to be okay. Okay. And I'm sure your son has had sex before. If he didn't, okay, cool, whatever. But I'm sure your son has had sex before. Okay. I'm sure, maybe your daughter has had sex before, and maybe the people that she's had intimate times with also call her a sex vixen. Maybe your husband considers you a sex vixen. So I understand maybe you feel like it was inappropriate or whatever, but listen, a lot of people I think are so close-minded, and they grew up a certain way that they feel like, okay, we shouldn't be talking about this. I too at one point in time was like that. Okay, listen, if you've watched any of my videos before, hearing me talk about my life and whatnot, the lack thereof, really, I grown up with strict religious parents, especially my dad, as I said plenty of times before. So yes, it took me a good while in my adolescent growing to adult. I still got, I'm a young adult. I still consider myself a young adult. That's why I be surprised sometimes when I be going to get alcohol and they don't be checking my ID, because I'm really like, I be trying to hand them the ID and they just be looking at me like, I know you're old enough. You can go. And I'm like, oh damn. I like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I too had to get to that point where it's just like, yo, why am I such a prude? Like, I get it, but at the same time, ma'am, you are at a certain age that this should not be phasing you the way it does. But then again, I know a lot of people are old school and probably would phase my dad a different way too. You know what I'm saying? But y'all gonna be all right. Okay, y'all gonna be all right, Mom. A lot of people had sex. A lot of people is considered, a lady in the streets freaking the sheets, you know what I'm saying? So calm down. So anyway, we get through. I spent too much time on that, but we get through the ceremony. For the most part, the mom's face, it looked like she just wanted to be out of there. But finally, when we get to the point where they kiss, I'm like, dang, like they kiss, all the other couples, they kiss too, but like I feel like they kiss, like they was kissing, and I ain't mad at it, and when they did that, like when they panned over to the mom, she was actually smiling and she seemed happy, clapping and stuff. I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, this seems all right. Thank you, Mom, for finally showing some more so, looking of support. So that's great. And that's it, they got married. They walked down the aisle and all that stuff. So then we get back to Michael, okay? Whenever it goes to Michael, it just seems like the mood just drops. Obviously, understandably so, but I'm just like, the mood literally just drops when it gets to Michael. So he's devastated. He's talking with his groomsmen back in the quarters or whatever you want to call it. And, They say they support him. They're upset for him. Michael tears up. One of them goes to hug him and console him. And, Michael lets us know that he thinks marriage may not be in the cards for him. Michael, listen, you don't even know homegirl, okay? You probably just know her name at this point. Why are you letting some homegirl who kind of low-key, high-key stood you up at the altar, making you rethink like, oh, you may never be married? For what? For what? Michael, please. Michael, look, bruh. You're going to be all right, okay? I don't want to be mean and say F her. I was about to say F her, Richard. But essentially, F her. She got nothing to do with you, bro. You met her for 2 seconds. Don't let someone you literally met for 2 seconds deter you from getting what you want. If you really want to be married, you want to go through marriage and all this stuff, then why can't you? Because of her? Someone you only seen for 2 seconds? Really? That's all it takes? Wow, then a lot of people shouldn't be going through with life and continue. That makes no sense. So, anyway, I'm just like, Michael, please, at this point, just try to focus on yourself. Do whatever you can to make yourself happy again. But please don't get depressed over some girl that you only seen for 2 seconds and make you rethink about your whole life. Please save it, Michael. Just go get a drink, hang out with your boys for the next, I don't know how long. You gonna be all right. We then move on to Lauren and Orion. They talk one-on-one. He's 27, she's 31. And I'm looking at Orion. And I'm just like, you're how old, sir? You're 20. You sure? A lot of people, I'll just be looking at their age, and I'm just like, really? Like, for real? Like, you not lying? Like, it really says that on your driver license and stuff? You 27? I would have never thought. I would have thought you was in your 30s, homeboy. Like, okay, but he's 27, she's 31. They get to talking, and I guess they're both Sagittarius and whatnot, having pretty good conversation. This is just getting to know each other type of thing. So, okay, cool. We get to Austin and Becca. They have a one-on-one. The conversation seems like it's just flowing. She don't drink alcohol. Okay, cool. He doesn't really care about that. There was a point where she knows he had her lipstick on his lips, so she's like wiping his lips, the lipstick off his lips, and he kind of looks kind of like, you don't have to be doing all this, but kind of just makes it seem like, okay, I'm not going to act too bothered. But no, your body language said that you was a little bit bothered, but, kudos for you for kind of going with the flow, Austin. I'll give you that. So, like I said, the conversation just goes and flows a little bit, so that's great. Back to somber Michael, okay? Like, the mood drops again. We get back to Michael, and I put in my notes, it's just like a dark gloom of a scene. But anywho, he reads a letter that I guess homegirl wrote to him saying sorry once again, and she gave him back the gifts that he got her. What were the gifts? We don't know. They could have showed it, you know what I'm saying? But okay. So she gives back the gifts, and they're sad, but he's just gonna move forward and do the best he can to take this as a life learning lesson and whatnot. He don't say none of this. Okay, I'm just paraphrasing a gist of what he was trying to say. And that was it for all we saw of him of the rest of this episode. We then get to, last but not least, the last wedding of this season, which is Claire and Cameron. And, when we get to the gifts part, Claire got Cameron a fabric that represents her family wedding tradition that she wants him to wear for the wedding. And when we get to Claire's gift from Cameron, he got her a stuffed animal. She was not too happy about that. She was not impressed. But, her bridesmaids were just like, oh, men are not really good at getting gifts. It just depends on the person. I mean, I'm not even going to say men. I'm just going to say some people in general, men and women, are not good at getting people gifts. It is the truth. So, she just looked really upset. I wouldn't really be upset about that because it's like the man don't even know you. So some people let's go back to season 11 of Married at First Sight. If Amelia got that gift, she would have been thrilled through the roof. I know Claire is of a certain, position and type of thing. I can tell that, she's of a certain caliber. That's what I want to say. Certain caliber, I feel like I'm of a certain caliber, but not to the point that Claire is, So for me, I see a gift as a gift. The fact that you even thought about me to get me something, I appreciate that. Claire, not so much. Okay. She looks at it as like, what type of gift is this? Like, especially as a wedding gift. Granted, yes, it's not a typical gift you'll see somebody get someone, but he tried, okay? Clearly, that's, Maybe he's not a good gift giver, but he could be good in other ways and in relationship. That's something y'all gonna have to figure out. I mean, she even did say we have to learn each other and whatnot, but it seems like this little gift thing is gonna be kind of hanging over Cameron's head at this point. So he already effed up. He already got strike one. So we're gonna see how that works out. But anyway, we get to the ceremony, and I guess before Claire walks down the aisle, whatnot, I guess one of her sisters lets her know that listen, I didn't agree with this. Marriage is hard, and if this is what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But he just better be a good man. He just better be a good man. Ma'am, all families, friends, and stuff, we get it. We know for 99.999%, because there'll be those 1% or 0.01% that be hating. But for the most part, we understand family and friends always gonna want the best for you, and they don't want nobody to be getting your life to create destruction. All that, we get that, but you don't have to keep expressing like he better be a good man. And if he's not, then what? What you gonna do? That's why I always say every season, what you gonna do? Nothing. You just gonna be there to console your sister in the case her heart gets broken, and that's it. You ain't gonna do ish. Okay, so stop with this. He better be a good man. Yes, we get it. We hope everybody is a good person for everybody. But unfortunately, the reality is in this damn world, a lot of people ain't good. Okay, especially who come on this show. People really be coming on the show just for exposure, to get, more likes and follows and stuff on Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. It is what it is. I mean, granted, that's not the right way to be doing about this thing, especially this is like legally binding contracts, as Pastor Kyle be saying. But girl, whenever family and friends be saying this, like next week is gonna be very annoying for me, because that's when they gonna talk with them and whatnot. I just be like, shut it down, bro. Like, we're nobody trying to hear your threats and you trying to look intimidating or whatever, because they're gonna tell you what you want to hear to your face. The proof is in the pudding. So you can hope all you want, but if homeboy ain't really like that, homeboy ain't gonna be like that, and things might happen. Now we're gonna hope and wish for the best, but you don't gotta reiterate or say he better be good, because if he's not good, then what you gonna do other than hope the best for your sister and help her through whatever she going through? What you gonna do? Nothing. Anyway, moving on. We get to the point where Claire's about to walk down the aisle, and I don't know if it was the sister who just said she hopes he's a good man, but one of the sisters or friends or whatever, when they walked down the aisle, or the bridesmaid, she was like super excited to see Cameron and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. And like I said, not Becca, but Claire was about to walk down the aisle, and that's where the episode ended. So we're gonna see next week the last wedding ceremony, and then we're gonna get to the reception, where all these family members and friends put their friends under the bus. They throw them under the bus. Emily's friend gonna throw her under the bus. And other one's gonna try to intimidate the spouse to be like, "Oh, what are you gonna do for my daughter?" It's BS. Like I said, I'm already annoyed at the fact of knowing I'm gonna be annoyed next week. But I mean, that was the end of the episode. It was, I guess, a little bit more entertaining than last episode. And hopefully it just picks up from there. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, that's okay. I'm definitely going to have some jokes for all these dang family members who are going to be acting a fool next week. So come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh. You can subscribe then. That's fine. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. Be easy breezy, lemon squeezy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.